Good morning, TSD candidates. You are supposed to get this on the 14th and 15th so that you then have enough time to reply. But we delayed sending it out mostly because we are aware that not everyone is online every single day. Not everybody checks their WhatsApp every single day. So we thought we'd give you some time to process and go through the first video and then send out the second one. And I can tell you now, if you're going to be a technical sales developer and for you to get the full experience and be able to get paid daily during your training, you're going to have to be online every single day. It is very important that you're able to access WhatsApp or Facebook and socials every single day. It's a similar sacrifice you would have had to make if you were going on to training on site every day. But for us to make it easier for you, it's going to be on your phone. But for you to be able to get the full experience that we want you to get before we call you onto site on a daily basis, it would be key that you are able to get online. So please make preparation for that. I've already introduced myself to most of you. It is Bongani. I am co-founder and senior tech sales developer at WeCure Life. I've looked at your CV and I feel I should share some of what would show up on my CV as the person who would be responsible for driving the team forward, especially during training. And once the training is done, it would be on probation, on face to face. So I'd be showing up in each and every province during that probation. So what you'll find is that I've got extensive international and national team building expertise for a number of multinational corporations over the past decade. If you went beyond the decade, you would find experience in banking and running a few small to medium enterprises. But over the past decade, what I really got paid for was building high performance teams in the alternative medicines industry. And that's what I mostly got headhunted for. Now, these teams were created not just to be able to create high impact in whichever place we worked in, but obviously the key was to make money for the company. But this also meant that the performers got big paychecks and travel rewards around the world. And of course, traveling around the world meant exposure, and at least it gave me exposure into the industry's functions, and that sparked major interest in their manufacturing and logistics frameworks, most of which were not developed for the South African market. So, most of the companies I've worked with over the past decade were either from the West, from Europe, or from Asia. And it was always interesting to be able to see how each of these, different corporations from different countries set up their framework. It would be important to note or mention that none of these business models were really developed for the South African market. So whichever place I went into, I would always see very different shortfalls in terms of their business model. And what you'd find, and what you still find in most of these herbal or alternative medicine companies, is that you only have a few people that succeed. Okay, so if you have a company of 20,000 people, you might find that 500 are top performers, are always, driving the nice cars, living in nice houses, but the rest of the 20,000, normally don't get to that high performance level. And of course, everything is about individual effort because that's how the business model is structured, and there's normally no support, no call center support, no technical support of any sort. It's always almost sales based, and for this purpose, I think it always, or I always ended up working with elderly teams or elderly people. I hardly ever had teams that were filled with young people. Or I could say I was, in most cases, the youngest in those teams. And because of how most of these companies are structured, it meant a lot of the youth was sleeping on opportunities to make big money, or most of them never really bother to seek out the youth to work in this industry. So you mostly find elderly people. Does not matter what nationality they are; it's always elderly people. And the biggest issue is that young people are sleeping on this. There is one company which puts a lot of effort into getting young people on board, and that's because it's mostly health based in terms of workouts and so on. And I think some of you are aware of this company, but even then, their framework is, or their business model seems to only elevate a few people, and I thought that's something that would always or has to be changed if I ever went into business. However, my biggest skill set rather has to be extensive sales. Every one of us has to develop that skill. Ukushela intombi is sales, making your potential spouse to see a future with you as you work on it now. Ningenalutho is sales. Getting your family to support your dreams while you have nothing is sales. Building a community is sales. Building a company is sales. Building a great country requires sales for working on a better future while things are not looking good today. So, most of us young people just have no idea how big a paycheck sales can give you. We are sleeping on a lot of these opportunities. Now, I'm not going to bother, showing you all of the companies I've been with over the past 10 years. I'm just going to show you one so that I give you a picture of what I mean when I say young people are sleeping on some of these opportunities. So this is just to show you what I mean when I say the youth is sleeping on a number of opportunities. And I mean, I would include myself as well because I wasn't paying attention to this at all back in 2016 when I got called to be on board with these guys. So this is a company that still exists that I helped build from the ground up. And let me just show you how big a paycheck sales can give you. So this is their back office, and you can see my name over there. Then you've got network diagram, personal info, account balance. But we want to go into business operations where withdrawals are made. And my last withdrawal with them was 765, and it was yesterday, 2023-08-14. Mind you, I'm not working for or with these guys anymore, but I'm still withdrawing what is more like royalties. But let me show you when I worked actively with them, and I'm just going to show you literally just 2 or 3 months. Now, I started taking this work seriously with them on the 20 before, or let's say the month of September 2016, and my first proper withdrawal was on the 26th. So in September, I withdrew on the 26th, 29th, 30th. So those 3 dates, it was 13,663, and then it was 5,600, and then it was 444. And that's not a bad amount for a month's work. And then in October, I withdrew on the 5th, on the 7th, on the 24th, on the 26th, and on the 29th. And on the 5th, it was 2,000. On the 7th, it was another 2,000. On the 24th, it was 28,200. On the 26th, it was 12,856. And the last withdrawal was 4,626 for the month of October. And then November 4th, 11th, 18th, and 25th. And on the 4th, it was 12.5. On the 11th, it was 17.4. On the 18th, it was 16.5. On the 25th, it was 48,654. And then if we check December, it was 27,582 Rand, and that was on the 3rd of December. Let's check just the one after that. And then I withdrew again on the 15th, which is 4.3, and then again on the 23rd, which is 3,000, and it goes on and goes on, and the amounts increase and decrease depending on personal effort. But if you just count September, October, November, just here when I started with him, you can be able to see that that's over 180,000 that was withdrawn. And if we divide it by 3 months, it gives you an average of 60,000 Rand, and that was back in 2016. This is obviously based on personal effort and building a team all on my own, but all personal, no support, no call center, not all the stuff that we do here at WeCure Life. But that's just to purely show you the potential of how much money you make from anything that has to do with sales. Obviously, being a technical sales developer is slightly more technical than this, and you'll find out what it is that we do on the induction. So, after building a number of these companies over a decade, you can imagine the different ideas that came from that exposure. And what I knew very well is that if one designed a business model that was suitable for the South African market, there would be more money to make, and not just for individuals, but the type of money that would make a very large team perform in ways that none of these multinationals have seen before. And so over the decades, I developed a product for the South African market, and not just a product, but a marketing system that we would use in most communities. Now, if you have a very good product and you don't have a very solid marketing system, you're likely going to perform average. So over the years, I developed both a product and a marketing services suite that would then be combined under WeCure Life. And I'm going to give you a bit of a background going forward so that you have a clear picture. Now, if you looked us up and see when we were registered and went back to about late 2019, 2020, the only thing you might find about us is our product. A product was well developed, product was getting results, but what's important to us is not just the product, but the way that we introduce and deliver the product to communities across the country. So apart from just the product, our marketing or business model is very unique, and that's something we can only share with you in detail when you come to induction. Now, I must make you aware, all operations run from here. Though the call center is routed via Joburg, everything else is going to run from here. And we intend on opening the the manufacturing facility here in KZN. So I'm just giving you a picture of our office. Obviously, I started here. This is where I operate from, and the tonic that you hear about. So that's a few thousand bottles of the tonic over here, and we should have capsules somewhere there. That's a few thousand bottles of the amazing detox capsules that you hear about. And then we have a few of the sprays as well. Everything else is down there under the tables, but we're not going to go in there. This is just to give you a picture of where the office is. And satellite distributors will obviously get golf shirts, very different from what a normal subscription member might buy for themselves. Okay, so this is where we are. A team of 6 sits on this side, and then I operate from here. Now, you can ask more details when we talk on our Zoom meetings about where we're from, which direction we're going, and the purpose behind signing up all these satellite distributors. And remember, our business model is just as good as our product. And what's really key and what's going to really make a difference is how we interact with the community. So all this is just to give you a small picture of what you're getting involved with. During our business development and strategy implementation brainstorming, I knew that the best way to go in the South African market would be health services, and so we developed a product in regards to that. And that's because a lot of people are sick. A lot of people do not necessarily have access to clinics or health services as you would assume. Just go around anywhere in South Africa, go around any township and even towns or rural areas, and you'll find that a lot of people are ill and our health system is not where it should be. So that spelled opportunity for us to develop a product that would get results that we would then put into these communities. However, another thing that is key is we're not selling, or we're not interested in selling, as individuals or 1, 2, or 3 bottles. Our business model is set out to move hundreds of thousands of our product a week. And for that purpose, we have a role of a technical sales developer. But in its basic form, without giving away the business model until we meet face to face in induction, is that a role of a TSD is to help us build reputation in the community. So we have a corporate introduction to the community, and 600 of you would be working in a community at once. So you can imagine what that does for the brand. So you're there to help us build reputation, relationships, trust, and from those trusts, we'd then be able to make connections that would allow us to put in the type of positioning that would scale our marketing for the brand and therefore create identity before we even show our value and our vision and our mission to those communities. We would put ourselves strategically within those communities to really build a robust name and brand. And of course, when we talk in detail, you'll see exactly how we go about that in induction. The major things that we are going to do for you as a technical sales developer is teach you how to speak to an already interested customer in less than 3 to 5 minutes. And you're going to do customer drives that push customers to our community expo pop-up venues. We'll put this out in detail so that you have understanding on how it works during induction. So you're going to conduct community empowering information services to let them know the benefits of becoming part of WeCure Life. So you're going to be speaking to people on a daily basis. And once we have you on the ground, we are able to have you speak to roughly 40 to 80 people per day, people that are already interested in what we have to offer because they will have seen advertising beforehand. In short, 12 people are going to show up every hour, and over an 8 hour workday, that's an average of 84 people a day. So a team of 600 can speak to roughly 302,400 clients a week, making us the most effective marketing company in the country. Hence, we are confident of reaching a million member base within a year. So, for example, initially your work and training will be based on our product, but we already have corporate clients that are lined up for us to provide services other than just what we have internally. So, for example, if the Department of Health required us to speak to youth about curbing teenage pregnancy, we are the only guys who would be available in each province or who have the skill to speak to about 300,000 young people a week in each and every province. And we will be doing that or these outreach campaigns for different corporates that would then pay us for the number of people that we speak to. So, being a technical sales developer does not mean that you'll only be working on our internal products. There'll be a lot of corporate clients that you'll be servicing as well. Now, as I've previously told you, most teams that I've developed always had adults, or most of these business models didn't cater for young people. What we've done is we've tried to remove each and every barrier to entry that one would face in our company. But there are things that we can avoid. There are things that are required for you to become a technical sales developer. Number one, attending induction as per your province is compulsory, and this must be done in one day. Over the past few weeks, we tried doing inductions, for different groups in at different times, and all of this ends up costing the company more money than it should. If you want to see what an induction looks like, go onto our Facebook page or other social media, and you'll see what an induction looks like for people who came through to the induction. A lot of important things are discussed there that would charter the way forward for us. And then what's important at the induction, and we had mentioned this on the job description, is that you would have to collect a tonic bottle which will cost 250, as we will not give these out for free. Now, when we start advertising and sending people out to you, they would be coming to you to get that bottle for 250. And we're going to show you ways, of course, on how to not necessarily give them that bottle, but use it to make orders. When people see a bottle in your hand, they're more comfortable of leaving funds with you so that they can come and collect later. But if we send you someone and you don't have a bottle in hand, it becomes a waste of time. We will not give these bottles out for free. There's no way a startup company is going to give 600 young people without experience these bottles for free. If you feel that there's value, and if you feel that you want to earn money and make an effort, it would be important to get that bottle. It's very important to then take a picture. We're busy working on our website now, so it might be down, but you can check on our social media pages as well why we take pictures, so that we put you onto our website. There should be a reel on how that looks like. And then, of course, we also take your bank account number so that we are able to pay you. Remember, on the company that I showed you withdrawals from, I would withdraw every third, fourth day, whatever the case is. But I had the option to withdraw every single day. So we want to give you that option so that we can pay you daily if you need to. So for every tonic that you move during training, you would then get paid immediately the same day. So you're going to need the banking details. You'll need certified documents as per your qualifications and your residential address. And then, of course, what we then do is start nationwide advertising that would bring you about 700 customers each. Okay. And with the 700 customers that we send your way, we would expect you to facilitate and convert at least 100 of them during training. That is very important. If we send you 700, and we might do more than that, that means you would at least have converted 100 people, and you will have gotten more than 4.5 for doing that during the 30 to 60 day, or rather the 60-day training period. And again, you are not limited to 100. I mean, if we send you 700 people and you convert all of them, and you go get another 300 more yourself, you will have made over 45,000 rand. What that means is that you'd be sitting with 45,000. You'd have enough money for taxis or for whatever you need to do when we call you into the job. Remember, we send you the 700 customers online, on the phone, at the comfort of your home, so that it doesn't cost you much money. But once you start making money, and you have money in hand, when the training period is over, we then call you to come on to site. And obviously, we only call you to come to the expos once you are hired. So when we call you for probation, you would already be part of the team. But I want you to remember that we want you to speak to as many people as possible, and we want you to convert at least 100 of them. That way you make money to be able to come to the job site when we open that up. Now, you will be requested to continuously be online via Facebook to engage with our customers, and WhatsApp, as our clients will mostly inbox you. These things are important, guys. If you can't do any of these things, might as well not apply further. Do not give us a yes, so that we do not call you and potentially waste your time and our time. You're going to have to be online. You're going to have to speak to people. And we've made this as easy as possible. Like I said, all this can be done from your home before we put you in front of customers. What's important, guys, is now discussing the pros and cons. Pros and cons for the company and for you. First thing, you're already aware we're a startup company, registered in late 2019, which would mean we didn't really even start in 2019 because our business model could not be executed during lockdown because it involves numbers. If we are saying to you that we can get 600 of you per province to speak to about 300,000 people per week, you can imagine, the numbers interaction that would be in place. And we weren't able to do that. So yes, registered in 2019, but couldn't really operate for 2.5 years during lockdown. Yet here we are, taking on risk of employing 5,400 young people. Now, what I want you to try and calculate is what the cost to company would be to do this. So, for example, during your training, obviously, what we pay you is for each product that you facilitate. So risk for us isn't big, but this allows us to at least make sure that you get paid every day. And if you're curious, you're looking at about 45 Rand per tonic bottle. So if we send you 700 people and you convert all of them, or we send you 1,000 people and you facilitate all the sales, you would have made 45,000 Rand. And obviously, we don't wait until month end to pay you this. You would get paid on a daily basis. So you must request the withdrawal and then you get money. This then means you're able to purchase data, airtime, and whatever it is that you need to be able to make your training successful, one, and profitable. But after that training, you would then be on 3-month probation, which then means whether you perform or not, we are obligated to paying you that 4.5. I want you to take your calculator, see what the cost to company is to take 600 young people and pay them 4.5 for 3 months. And then what I then want you to do is calculate what it would cost us as a company to now pay those 600 young people 20,000 a month over a 12-month period. And then you'd get a picture of how much risk we are taking on as a startup company, completely new, but very confident that we would be able to pull this off. Now, we're not just taking a risk, the risk is calculated. We know what we can risk on our side. And then there's also some amount of risk for you. I mean, number one, you have to get taxi fare so that you can go to the induction. Second, you have to get a bottle, taking a risk on your own future. And then that's about it for you. And then the next thing you have to do is put yourself out there. Whoever we send you, whoever you find online from our advertising, you'd have to interact with. And we can assure you that over this 60-day training period, with the way we're going to market this, you will have spoken to a lot of people, and you will have made a whole lot more than what it costs to have that bottle in your hand, so that you have an opportunity to be able to not just train and earn money, but become part of the team. So the risk for us would be the cost to company. Risk for you would be your time coming through and putting an effort to get results. And if we weigh these guys, I think if both of us, as in the company and the team on the ground, put in an effort, we should be able to get to probation with ease. You have call center support. We'll be sending you people via WhatsApp. We'll be sending you people via Facebook. And more important, we're going to be advertising in every local radio station in your area, so people will be aware. They will be looking for product. They will be going onto our website to see who we work with. So calculate the risk, decide what you want to do. Take your time, watch the video again, go online, go back to before we started advertising the job, and take a look at our product, take a look at our testimonials, take a look at obviously you can only look at the product side for now, but I assure you the marketing part of the business is just as strong, if not even better than the product. You look at all those things. If you don't know how to look up a registered company, go to CIPC and you'll have an idea. Do your own research, look into the company, so that you can decide whether this is a shot that you want to take or not. And if you decide that you want to be part of the team, what I then want you to do is reply with yes via WhatsApp. Once we get your yes, two things. Reply with yes, and then resend your video. Remember the video that we looked at the first time around, but this time do it properly, guys. The caption should be your name, surname, and province, meaning when we look at it from our side, what we want to see is just two messages. Yes, meaning you want to be part of the team, And then second would be your name, surname, and province. That would be the caption of the video. We simply go into that, we review the video, we take another look at your CV, and then we communicate with you individually to then see to it that we get a date for this month. Listen, guys, if we can round up all provinces this month, all of you can start training on the 1st. And when we advertise nationally for 5,400 team members, it's much cheaper for us than if we do one province at a time or we advertise for Gauteng only. These things are cheaper if we do it in bulk. So what's next is review the information, review the company, check if we are the type of people you want to get on board with, and check if you'd be willing to put in an effort over the training period. And if you've decided that's what you want to do, send in a yes, send in your video, and we will conclude and put you in place so that from the 1st of September, you are on the website, you've already attended the induction. The latest we could probably do is round up the inductions early next month if we can't finish all of them this month. But I can tell you now, I want all inductions to be done this month so that we can start training as a team on the 1st. If there's anything else you need to know, just text admin. Thank you.